Resolutions of the Communist Party and government provided a legal basis for unconditional confiscation of grain.
Мы от жизни слово дали, что пройдем сквозь мрак и лед. Шлем привет, товарищ Сталин, дома будем через год.
That made it possible to increase Soviet grain exports by dozens of times. The export of grain seized from starving Ukrainian peasants was channeled through Ukraine's ports. These are documents from the Odessa archives. Monthly targets of grain export. January, February, March. Telegrams carrying orders from Moscow. Most of the documents are written in longhand, in single copies, and all of them carry a handwritten security specification, classified, which raises the status of these seemingly ordinary trade documents to the level of state secrets. And this is an inventory of ships used to export grain. Name, load weight, 8,000 tons, 7,000 tons, 6,000 tons, and so on, according to the list. Analysis of the reports on grain deliveries to foreign ports. Consignor, destination. As grain kept being shipped off, more and more people were dying. Overall, the grain export statistics in millions of metric centners looked like this. The largest amount of grain was exported from 1930 to 1932. In 1932, where the most severe of Holodomors was only beginning, the grain export was 20-fold larger than in 1929, before the full-scale collectivization. Later, exports dropped sharply, as there wasn't much left to export. Meanwhile, demographics looked like this. Before 1931, Ukraine's annual birth rate exceeded 1 million. In 1933, it dropped lower than half of that. The natural death rate was at the level of statistical average and even decreasing. But that wasn't meant to last. The figure of 4.5 million is a very conservative estimate, made in the spirit of what is now referred to as political correctness.
У нас в первую очередь отличается вот народ тем, что никак не могут до конца ответить на вопрос, какая цена вопроса. Да? Вот я считаю, что если один человек гибнет по дороге к решению вопроса, это уже неправильно. И так любой цивилизованный человек должен считать. Поэтому в первую очередь, вот, как сказать, плоскость должна быть немножко другая рассмотрение. Да, это колоссальная историческая трагедия, в первую очередь уничтожившая колоссальный людской ресурс. Может быть, остановившая Украину, там, может, это была бы уже там самая продвинутая какая-то в науке, в технике, где угодно государственном мире. Мы же не знаем, кого убили эти люди.
An overall estimate indicates that the Soviet authorities valued one human life at 3 tons of grain. At that time, the world market price of 1 ton of grain averaged about $30. So on each famine killed Ukrainian, the Kremlin rulers made some $90 of commercial gain. Not too much of a profit, but if you multiply it by millions, it makes a difference. Economy of scale, That was a massive food-for-death operation. Champions of confiscation drive were handsomely rewarded, and the top achievers received top governmental awards. This document is a case in point. It is a submission for award, saying, on the occasion of the 15th anniversary of the state monopoly on foreign trade in Ukraine and overachievement of targets set, comrades such and such are considered worthy of being awarded Orders of the Red Banner of Labor. Good job.
Всякій дії передує думка, ідея. Ідея була роздушити Україну і зберегти Російську імперію у великому тому складі, в якому вона була, і не допустити, щоб Україна вирвалася із Російської імперії. Ось ідея. Хто здійснював на практиці цю ідею? Бо це був стимул. А ту ідею здійснювали ось люди, які тоді керували імперією. Їхній список є, їхні прізвища є. Ці прізвища можна назвати.
What is really crucial is to understand what caused the crime and what made it possible. It's crucial to understand what turns people into ruthless monsters. That is why there should be a trial by the world's court of justice. But for that trial to take place, a case should be made and evidence of the crime should be provided to the fullest extent possible. And as far as credibility goes, seeing is believing. Especially as in the years of the Holodomor, the outside world could hardly see or hear what was really going on in the famine-hit areas, which were one huge scene of crime. In 1969, the Soviet Cinema Chronicle was published. Every year, the much-lauded Soviet School of Documentary Cinematography churned out dozens of whitewash films. 1931, 1932, industrialization, the great construction of Dnipro gas power station, the progress of mechanization, etc. Life in the country of triumphant Bolshevism received comprehensive and manifestly upbeat coverage. But in 1933, only one documentary saw the light of day. It had a resounding title, The Bolshevik. Movie makers didn't film anything else, obviously fearing that they could accidentally shoot something they were not supposed to. In 1934, more films were made, like this one about the happy life of coal miners. There also was another documentary, The Harvest Festival. As you can see, that one was in English. A film of the new life, of fruitful labor, of the harvest festival of the collective farms, the kolkhozes. Gorgeous landscapes of the beautiful country. And the comment, where the Dnieper flows through a flowering land, this Soviet Ukraine.